Thank you, Richard. Morning, everyone. Can everybody please stand up? We're in the fitness industry, so can you please stand up? And we're about to have a fitness test. So how fit are you all? Oh, fabulously fit down the front here. What I'd like you to do, because it's not just about how fit you are physically, it's also how fit you are mentally, yes? So what I want you to do is show me how fit you are in your head. You ready? I want you to write the word wow with your whole body. I'll show you first, just in case you need a bit of direction. It goes like this. So you have to do it, say it, sound it out, and act it out. Are you ready? It's a test. It's a very important test. Go. Oh, that was so good. What I'd like you to do now is have a seat, please. I'm going to do it in the seated position. Because now it becomes very kinesthetic. Some of you are getting comfortable in that position. You ready? In exactly the same now with your bottom. Ready? Write the word wow. Go. Now, the test was, I wanted to see who lives on the grumpy planet and who lives on the happy planet. I wanted to see the people who just got so involved straight away, you just jumped up and went, Some of you looked at me as if to say, I don't write things with my bottom. Some of you went, oh, it's too early for that, lady. Some of you kind of had a go because everyone else was having a go, but if I asked you to do it by yourself, you probably wouldn't have. So my first question for this morning is, which planet do you live on all of the time? Now you have to ask yourself the question. Don't ask the person next to you. Ask yourself the question, which planet do I live on? Do I live on the grumpy planet? Do I live on the happy planet? Or do I have one foot on each? So it just depends on what's going on at the time, which planet I live on. Have you asked yourself the question? Hands up, the happy planet, folks. Do we have any grumpy planets? No, we've got a couple. There's always a couple. I have a very serious question to ask you, which you now have to answer to the person next to you. So you have to strike up a conversation with possibly somebody you don't know. Are you ready for that? We're fitness professionals, of course we are. With the person next to you, I need you to share the condition of your underwear. I need to know whether you're wearing extremely sexy underwear, average, safe, comfortable underwear. I haven't finished yet. Are you wearing holy, daggy, stretchy, elastic underwear that if you had to get naked right now or in your undies you'd be embarrassed? Or are you expecting to sneak out to a corner sometime during the day and you're actually wearing no underwear today? So please share with the person next to you, you're wearing sexy underwear, nice, safe, comfortable underwear, broken, torn, holy, stretchy underwear, or none. Go. Did you share? Now, for those of you who are looking for a way to strike up conversation in a nightclub or with somebody that you don't know, it is a great question to ask. It also has some very interesting undertones as to the answer. Those of you who are wearing sexy underwear today, the question is why? Is it because you are here with somebody sexy? Is it because you are currently in a relationship that requires you to wear sexy undies? Are you a sexy undie wearer? So that's just who you are. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life, you always wear sexy underwear. If you're wearing nice, safe, comfortable, boring undies, is that because today you knew you'd be sitting down for a fair bit so you didn't want any G-string kind of digging into you? Is it because you're in a nice, safe, comfortable relationship so that if you get naked at some stage today when you have to, to get your gear off, your partner won't even notice that you're wearing your nice, safe, boring knickers? Or is that just the kind of person you are? Regardless of what relationship you're in, you would always wear nice, safe undies. Those of you that are wearing torn, broken, stretched, holey undies, is that because that's the kind of relationship you're in, which probably means zero relationship at the moment? I remember I had a client once, we were on the chin-up bar, and she had really hairy legs. And I said, "What's with the hairy legs?" And she said, "It's winter and I don't have a boyfriend, who cares?" So maybe that's the state of your current relationship, is that you can get away with wholly stretched, ugly, marked undies because the relationship you're in at the moment is either not there, non-existent, or the person you're with doesn't check out your undies anymore. And then there's that group that don't wear any undies. Is anyone prepared to put their hand up and say that today? Hey, you're putting his hand up for him. Thanks for that. The reason that I asked that very important question is that your relationship with your current career is very relevant to the state of your underwear. When you're in a brand new, sexy, lustful, hot, horny relationship, what kind of undies do you wear? Well, none. Oh, none was the answer. Just in case you've got to sneak off sometime during the day. Because you're excited about what you're doing, so you wear sexy undies. If the relationship kind of continues on and you feel nice and safe and secure and comfortable in that relationship, you might start wearing the more comfortable undies. Even, if you're in a sexy relationship today, even if you have to sit down all day, you'd still wear a G-string, wouldn't you, just in case? But if you're in a boring, safe, comfortable relationship, you wear your boring, safe, comfortable undies. And worse, if the relationship is either non-existent or deteriorated to the point where it's okay to wear undies that have got brown marks in them. Oh, you know who you are, you've seen them before. And undies with the stretch bits. I don't understand why guys can't throw their underwear away. It's like it's got to be completely torn before you can throw it away. The question I want to ask you today is, how is your relationship with your fitness career today? And interestingly, I spend a lot of my time now chatting to school teachers, because I believe one of the most responsible and important roles in the world right now is what a school teacher does. We have massive childhood obesity challenges, yes? We have massive childhood depression challenges, learning challenges, and teachers are responsible for those kids for a lot of their life, 8 hours or 6 hours a day. And I ask teachers that exact same question as I've asked you today. Are you still excited and lustful about being a teacher? Or has it become a nice, safe, comfortable position? Or has it deteriorated so badly that you're wearing your daggy old undies to school? The reason I ask us as fitness professionals, and if the only thing you take away from this whole entire weekend is what I'm about to share with you, then we've had a great weekend. I'd like you to turn to the person next to you and just say to them out loud so you can hear yourself say it, "I am a fitness professional." Can you say that for me, please? I am a fitness professional. Now, some of you might have said, well, I'm not. I'm a personal trainer, or I'm a gym instructor, or I'm a Pilates instructor, or I do all different stuff. What I would like us to really get and really understand is this group, all of us here, from the lady in the orange, what's your name? Lindsay? Vanessa. From Vanessa all the way round. For the people outside today, see, this is a fitness conference. For the people outside today, every single person in this room has a label. The outsiders call us those fitness people. Yes or no? Oh, they're those fitness people. They're those funny people that exercise every day and they eat good food and they drink water out of bottles and they wear funny clothes. Well, the challenge we've got with that is that in any Western country that you go to today, 5% of the population is doing an exercise program that will have a long-term effect on their health and fitness. I'm going to say that again. 5% of the population is doing an exercise program that will have a long-term effect. I'm going to say that again. Long-term effect on their health, fitness and well-being. Not their short-term fat loss or weight loss, their long-term. That means that us as fitness professionals have 95% of the population that isn't doing an exercise program that has a long-term effect on their health and well-being. Please write this down if you've got a piece of notepaper. Rowena doesn't care if you don't like her today. Write it down. What I want to share with you today is that we have a responsibility. You, me, the person next to you, the person behind you, the person in front of you, because as soon as you put that label on yourself that says fitness, everybody out there sees all of us as exactly the same. Every doctor, every medical professional, every allied health professional, every corporate person, everybody out there looks at all of us as the same. You might be sitting there thinking to yourself, but I'm a really good personal trainer and I don't write dodgy exercises and I look after my clients and I'm always on time and I dress really professionally and I'm really good at what I do. But what you don't get is that maybe the person next to you is wearing their daggy undies today. Maybe the personal trainer next to you or the group exercise instructor next to you is a little bit over what they're doing. Maybe they're not in love with what they're doing anymore and they arrive a little bit late and they don't dress professionally and they write the occasional dodgy exercise program and they don't really care about their client. And you might be sitting there thinking, well, that's not me, I'm really good. But what I've had to take responsibility for, and I want you to as well, is that we are a group of fitness professionals. Until the general practitioners, the physiotherapists, the orthopaedic surgeons, the dietitians, the government look at us as a group and say they are professional people, we will not make a difference to the 95% of people that don't have an exercise program that makes a long-term difference to their health and well-being. I'm going to sound really harsh, but I have the privilege of presenting at medical conferences. I have the privilege of presenting to education government. And they don't take us seriously. They think we're the fitness people. I go to present at a conference, a medical conference or a business conference. I arrive wearing a suit. I'm there to talk about stress management, health and well-being. And they look at me and go, who are you? I say, my name's Rowena. And they go, are you the fitness person? Yes. Oh, we were expecting somebody in tracksuit. We're expecting somebody in shorts. Whether you like it or not, you have 0 to 30 seconds to make a first impression. Whether you like it or not, you can say to me, Rowie, I wish people didn't judge me by the way I dress, but they do. And in 30 seconds, somebody will pick you as a fitness professional or one of those fitness people. So you might be at the beginning part of your relationship with your fitness career, the beginning part that we've all been in, me too. I used to run around in little tiny bike pants with my ass cheeks hanging out the back. There was a reason for that, because that made me feel good, because people used to look at my ass. And I used to have my abdominals hanging out, because I had ripped ones. And people used to look at them and go, wow, nice abs. But when you walk into the doctor's surgery, and I'll give you a worse example. My mother, who should be dead, she's 85 years young, but she should be dead because she's had 2 massive heart attacks and she's outlived everybody else in her family by many, many years. So we've got congenital heart challenges in our family. At 74, my mother found out, apart from her heart challenges, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, that she had advanced osteoporosis. 1 in 3 women get advanced osteoporosis. Have a look around you. We won't, because we're fit, strong and healthy, but 1 in 3 women out there get osteoporosis. At 74, an orthopaedic surgeon put my mother in a walking frame and said, you better be really careful because you could fall over and break a bone. We took her out of the walking frame, booked her in with a personal trainer who got her really strong by doing boxing and chin-ups and heavy strength training, which she's been doing ever since, now 11 years. The last record test at the orthopaedic surgeon, you ready for this? At 74, she had advanced osteoporosis. At 85, she's got mild osteopenia. My own mother has gone from a walking frame to being able to fall down on a slippery road, get straight back up again and not break any bones. That's what we do. But you know what my mother said when I first suggested she go to the gym? I'm not going to wear one of those things up my pants, you know, those stringy things. At 74, the best thing for my mother to do was to strength train. I knew that. I was passionate about it. But my own mother said to me, I'm not going to the gym, I have to wear one of those strings. Who was wearing the string? Her own daughter. I wasn't setting the example for my own mother. Now here comes the great part of the story. The doctor, orthopaedic surgeon, specialist in bone challenges, said to my mother, you've got advanced osteoporosis, you need to take Fosamax, which is the medication for osteoporosis. He said, it's not going to help your osteoporosis, it'll just slow it down. It'll slow down the deterioration of your bones. She goes back to have a test done, she says a 10% increase in all major sites. Does anybody else get excited about that stuff besides me? Like, that's my mother. We can do that for every woman on the planet. The doctor goes, orthopaedic surgeon says, that Fosamax has worked well, hasn't it? My mother's very sharp, and when you're more mature of age, you can say things like this. She pointed her finger at him like this, and she said, it wasn't the Fosamax, you told me. It's my strength training that's done this to my bones. He was a little hesitant to believe it. Because those fitness people, what do they know? She had a massive, massive heart attack 4 Tuesdays ago. Hospital called. In fact, I wish this on nobody, but when the doctor says to you your mother's going to die, it's a tough call. She came out of that operation, absolutely no challenge whatsoever. The cardiologist has now said to her, come back in 10 years, we'll check those stents out to see how they're going. That's 95. And come back 10 years after that, we might have to replace them. That's 105. She's had 2 children die of heart challenges. Her brother died at 57, her mother died at 60. She should be dead. But when will the cardiologists take us seriously? 80% of people that die of a heart attack don't have to die of a heart attack if they had a healthy eating plan and a great exercise plan. For the fitness professionals in the room, did you know that a general practitioner does 0 education on exercise prescription? General practitioners don't learn anything about exercise prescription. Nothing. Do you know the #1 place that people in the Western world go to lose weight? The doctor. And the doctor says, take a pill and walk for 30 minutes. For a person that doesn't do any exercise, how long is a 30-minute walk? It may as well be a marathon. That's the prescription that the doctor's giving. Do we know a little bit about nutrition? What do doctors learn about nutrition? GPs?
Well, I asked that question, and I did ask that question too, and they said they do learn a little bit about it.
The answer was they do learn a little bit about nutrition. Yeah, they do learn a little bit about nutrition. Rosemary Stanton from Australia will tell you at Sydney University it's 3 hours in a 6-year degree. It is a little bit. Anybody in this room spent more than 3 hours learning about nutrition? Oh, really? Do you know that the 2 interventions that Diabetes Australia says will help maintain and control type 2 diabetes, which is now a pandemic, and in Australia it's out of control. In South Auckland you've got the highest per capita of type 2 diabetes in the world. As a fitness professional, I hope that scares you, because you know the 2 interventions that can fix, sort, get rid of type 2 diabetes? You ready? The 2 interventions that the medical professionals will tell you will get rid of them. You ready? Exercise and a healthy eating plan. Excuse me, as a fitness professional, what is it that you do? When I presented at the diabetes conference, there was a list of people that the medical professionals were suggested to send their patients and clients to that had type 2 diabetes. General practitioners, dietitians, psychologists and exercise physiologists. That was the list, that was it. If I was you, because I was embarrassed, I was the next speaker after the head of the Diabetes Australia, I was the next speaker, and I wasn't invited for my educational skills, I was invited as the entertainment for that conference. My name as a fitness professional was not on the list of an allied health professional that could help with type 2 diabetes. We have to create a relationship with the medical practitioners, with the government, with the corporate world that says we are fitness professionals and we are really, really good at what we do. So the question I'm going to ask you today is the only way that those people are going to take us seriously is if, first of all, we absolutely, positively love what we do. If you're wearing daggy old undies when you get up in the morning to go and train your clients, there's not going to be one doctor in the world that looks at you and says, I want to send all my clients, all my patients to you. If you're waking up in the morning and saying, oh, I'm so over this, can you do us all a favour? Go work for the bank or something. Because every time you get up in the morning and you don't go to your health club, your personal training studio, your park, your beach, on fire with the passion for our industry, someone will see you. And they'll go, there goes one of those fitness people. And you'll put a black mark on all of us. And I believe in this room today, because you wouldn't have given up your strong end, and I can't say weekend because people that lift weights would never say weekend, would they? You guys have given up a strong end, 2 days, to come and re-educate, refresh, get excited, get inspired. So the people in this room are obviously people who are really, really committed to our industry. I'm going to take you through a series of questions that I would never ask you unless I asked them of myself. First question, when you walk in a room, are you the person who lights up the room when you walk in? Or when you walk out? You see, people look at fitness people. As soon as you say, I'm a trainer, I'm an exercise instructor, I'm a fitness professional, or simply look good, people will label you as something to do with fitness. And the 95% of people that have absolutely no interest in exercise because they think it's a swear word will look at you and they'll expect you to be God. They'll expect you to be energetic, positive, happy, full of life. Because you're one of those fitness people. That's what exercise does for you, isn't it? Doesn't exercise give you shiny teeth, shiny hair, great skin, great circulatory system, a beautiful healthy body and long life? Yes or no? Just say yes. Tell the truth in advance if you have to. I came through customs in New Zealand at about one of those funny flights, about 1 o'clock in New Zealand in the morning the other night, and I was wearing long pants and a long coat. And I came through customs and, they're not real happy at that time of the morning. They'd rather be home. And I came through with my little, and I don't put anything on I just put company director on my, when you come into the country. And then the lady looked at me and she goes, you're one of those fitness people, aren't you? I'm wearing long pants and a long jacket. And she looks at me and says, you're one of those people. And I said, really? She goes, I could just tell. Can people tell that about you? That's a question I'm asking. When people look at you, do they say, I want what she's got? Because people don't want to exercise, they just want the benefit of it, yes or no? They don't want to do it, they just want the benefit of it. The next question I have to ask, and I have to ask it because I've been asked to come and chat to fitness professionals, is every single exercise program or suggestion that you write or give, is it possible that the person that you gave it to can actually do that thing? It's a really serious question. I would like you to keep asking it over the whole strong end. When you write somebody a program or make a suggestion for their eating plan or their exercise plan, is it something that they can actually do? Here's the example I give to people who don't exercise. You can use it if you want. How many people in this room brush their teeth? Hands up. Please have 100%, please. So we all brush our teeth. Could I say yes? You know, all teachers brush their teeth. All corporate business people brush their teeth. Every time I ask that question, doesn't matter what the group is, everybody brushes their teeth. In the Western world today, everybody brushes their teeth. And in the countries that don't have toothbrushes and toothpaste available, they still do something to clean their teeth, yes? With a stick or some charcoal or whatever. Everybody wants to clean their teeth because why? What happens if you've got dirty teeth? They rot. How do you feel if you haven't brushed your teeth for a few days? They rot, they get decayed, they're dirty, they feel bad, you've got smelly breath, no one wants to hang out with you. So in the Western world, everybody brushes their teeth. How long do you brush your teeth for? 2 minutes. The dentist would like you to brush your teeth for 2 minutes 2 times a day. That's what the Dental Association would suggest. Everybody in the Western world is prepared to do that. Please take that on board. Everybody is prepared to look after this part of their body for 4 minutes a day. Do you know how exciting that is to me? That means that there is something that everybody's prepared to do. What if we could make exercise that simple? When I go to chat to school teachers or doctors, because they're notorious for saying, I've got no time to exercise. Have you heard that? That's exactly what the GP said to me. Oh, but we're too busy to exercise. Really? What if you spent as much time on your body, 4 minutes a day, as you did on your teeth? What if you got people who don't do any exercise at all ever, and we've all met them, some of us even have them in our lives. What if we got them to do 1 minute when they woke up in the morning, 1 minute at morning tea, 1 minute at lunchtime, and 1 minute in the afternoon? They just did 4 minutes of exercise every day. That would be easy, wouldn't it? People are prepared to brush their teeth for that long, so maybe they'd be prepared to exercise for that long. Because it's not really exercise, just moving around. Everybody stand up for me. We're going to do 1 minute of exercise. Are you ready? Just clap your hands like this. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And now move your body around. And lift your legs up at the same time. Just do it in a spot. And now squat down. Woo-hoo! Yeah, yeah. I love to move my body, yeah, yeah. I love to move my body, yeah. Jog on the spot if you can. Just a little jog on the spot. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Woo! If you're really fit, you can sprint. If not, just walk. Keep going, keep going. A little bit faster. Go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, swim. Go. Come on, for the triathletes in the room, we've got running and swimming happening at the same time. Can you do both? I want you to run and swim. Abs in tight, run and swim at the same time. Woo-hoo! Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And squat down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, how good was that? What do you think would happen if 95% of the people in the world who didn't do any exercise at all got up in the morning and did that just for 1 minute? Would they be happier? Of course. And if they were having a bit of a grumpy morning and instead of having a coffee and a donut, they just jumped around to some wild, crazy music for a minute, do you reckon they'd be happier in the office? You know, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when everyone wants to have a snooze, and if instead of having a Red Bull, they got up and jumped around to some music and squatted and clapped and sang, and they did that just before they went to bed, would they feel better? Now, we've got this amazing product, you and I. If I exercise for a minute, it makes me feel good. What do I usually want to do?
Do more of it.
I want to do some more. The challenge we've got in our industry is we say to people, I used to, I don't know, you probably don't. I was very unprofessional. I used to say to people, if you don't do at least 20 to 30 minutes, don't bother. Guess what? They didn't bother. I used to say to people, if you don't do your gym program 3 times a week, 3 sets of 10, 27 exercises, it won't work. Guess how many people stuck to their exercise program? The really serious, committed ones that were already doing it. I have to take responsibility for the thousands and thousands of exercise programs I wrote that were impossible for people to stick to. I remember a club owner once in Australia. She's a very successful female chain of club owners, and she got one of her instructors one day and she said, I want you to take your program that you've written for this mum with 3 children and I want you to go and do it. The program that you've written for somebody, I want you to go and actually physically partake of that exercise program. Come back to me and let me know how long it took for you to do it. An hour and a half later, the girl's still wandering around the gym. I don't know about you, but a mum with 3 kids is highly unlikely to stick to an exercise program in the gym that goes for an hour and a half. Yes or no? But see, if you are passionately in love with what you do, the reason you do it is because you want to help people. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Can you please, on the envelope that you were given today, write your current or your address where you'll be in 3 months from now? If you have an envelope in your hand that was given to you, can you please, I'm not going to open it, you are, just write your address where you're going to be, address the envelope to yourself, and it's going to be where you will be in 3 months from now. Just really quickly, scribble your, because you'll get it and you'll go, whose writing's that? Oh, it's mine. Please write your address, current address, or where you'll be in 3 months from now on that envelope. And once you've done that, on the piece of paper that we gave, you can just write a letter to yourself that says, Dear, your name, and fitness professional. Dear John, fitness professional. Dear Laura, fitness professional. Dear Samantha, fitness professional. Remember we had that fitness test at the beginning to write wow with your bottom? This is another one of those tests. Oh, I don't feel like doing this morning. Okay. It's a really cool exercise. I'm going to challenge you to have a go at this one in particular. Write a letter to yourself that says, Dear, your name, fitness professional. Dear Rowena, fitness professional. That's what I would write. If your name's not Rowena, please don't write that. The envelope's addressed to yourself. I'm not going to open it. The next person that opens it will be you. I don't care whether you believe this or not. I just want you to write it down. I love what I do and I do what I love. Just write it down on the letter. So it's Dear John, fitness professional. I do what I love or I love what I do. Because that fits into every category. Some of you are doing what you absolutely passionately love to do and you'd never do anything else. Or you could just be a really positive person from the happy planet, and regardless of what you're doing at the moment, you love it anyway. I've got a checkout lady that I go to at Coles at Broadbeach. Her name's Samantha. I pick the days that Samantha's on because she's a really happy, positive girl. I don't think she loves being a checkout girl. So she's not doing what she loves, but she loves what she does. Because that's what positive, happy people do. They do what they love or they love what they do. Because what's the alternative? What most people do. I've got a job and I hate it. I wish it was Friday. I saw them last night at Auckland Harbour. Thousands of people. It's Friday. Let's drink as much as we possibly can in the shortest period of time to forget that we've just had a week. We'll feel lousy all day today. We'll get over it by Sunday. Then we'll have that sick feeling in our tummy on Sunday because we've got to go back to work on Monday. I do not wish that for you. I do not wish that for your clients. So just write it down. I love what I do or I do what I love. Next thing. I never, ever write an exercise program that my client couldn't stick to for the rest of their lives. I don't care if you don't agree with me. I just want you to write it down. Please make that commitment to the world that you would never give somebody an exercise program that they can't stick to. If I put somebody on the treadmill and I say walk for 30 minutes, which we've already discovered for the average person is a marathon walk, yeah? If I put them on there for 30 minutes and they only get to 20 before they're absolutely exhausted and they have to stop because their legs hurt or their calves are tight, do they get off the treadmill feeling like a winner or a loser? They feel like a loser. How many people who feel like a loser go back and do it for the second time? If I say to somebody, can I pop you on the treadmill, have a little walk, as soon as you get puffed, stop. As soon as you get puffed, stop. You know, if it's a minute or two, that's fantastic. If you suggest 1 or 2 minutes and they do 5, how do they feel, winner, loser? Winner. Someone that feels like a winner is going to have another go, yes or no? I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart, please don't do what I did for so many years as one of those fitness people. When I became a fitness professional, I realised that it wasn't about me, it was about my client and what they could do for the rest of their lives. Please write this down on the letter to yourself. Dear fitness professional, I live on the happy planet. I light up the room when I walk in. Ha ha! Tell the truth in advance if you have to. And it's got a little addition to the end of it. I light up the room when I walk in. Even if I don't feel like it. You see, if you're lying on the beach in Tahiti and you're feeding the fish and the sun's gently kissing your skin and you're having a wonderful holiday and somebody says, how are you? And you say, fantastic. That doesn't really count. That's easy. Everybody can be happy in Tahiti. It's when it's freezing cold, pouring down rain, you're stuck in the cars on the road, because you wouldn't call it traffic because that would be a stressful word, wouldn't it? And your house has just been taken over from the bank, and your clients have just cancelled, and your boyfriend or girlfriend's just walked out the door, and someone says, how are you? How do you bloody think I am? Ah, so you're from the grumpy planet. The reason I'm challenging you with that is, as a fitness professional, people don't care what's going on in your life. Have you noticed? They want you to be the strong one. They want you to be the positive one. You're the fitness professional. It's an analogy I give to leaders on a regular basis, but I believe that as fitness professionals, we are the leader of our society, because if people can see what we do and what we've got and they want to have a go at it, will we have a better society? And I don't care if you think I'm being out there and too optimistic and all of that stuff. I just want you to think about it. All the people that are depressed, sick, miserable, grumpy, having a horrible life, would they feel better if they were fit, healthy and strong? Of course. As fitness professionals, what do we get people to do? We get them healthy, fit and strong. Oh, please turn off. Thank you. So the question is, you as a fitness professional, do people look at you and say, I want what she's got, I want what he's got? Or do they look at you and say, they live on the happy planet sometimes, but not today? Are you the person that can be happy regardless? When things are going rough, here's one of my favourite quotes. When times get tough, champions are revealed. It's pretty easy to be a champion when things are going well. But when times get tough, champions are revealed. Some people will tell you right now that there's an economic crisis. We have chosen not to participate. As a fitness professional, can you participate in the financial crisis? Just say no. Because if you do, what is the first thing that people will drop in a financial crisis? Their exercise program or their membership. Is that the thing that they need to drop right now? They need it the most. If you are guilty of not exercising ever because of your stress situation, I can't exercise, I'm too busy, my house has just been... That's when you need it the most. That's when your clients need it the most. Please write down on your piece of paper, I am a fitness professional in every area of my life. If you are 1 minute late for your personal training session, 1 minute, you've just told your client that your life is 1 minute more important than theirs. I learnt that the hard way, because one of the things that I promised one of my clients, the only thing she really asked me was, Rowie, I've got 3 kids, I'm a busy lady, I want to train twice a week at 11 o'clock, but don't be late. I came down from the aerobic class that I just taught in my health club. I was a busy lady. I had every reason to be late. I had an excuse. I think I was about 3 minutes late. But I had an unconditional money-back guarantee that promised her that I would be on time for her personal training sessions. I trained her 52 times for free, because that was my promise, that if I was ever late, I would give her her training sessions for free. And she had purchased a whole year of training. Isn't that what professionals do? If you make a commitment, if you're a lazy average person, you'd say, no, I'm not giving training you 52 times for free. But what does a professional do? You suck it up. That's the analogy I want to give you as a leader today in our industry. We need to be vacuum cleaners. What does a vacuum cleaner do? Happily, what does a vacuum cleaner do? Comes into a dirty room full of dirt, dust and rubbish and sucks it all up, yeah? And when a vacuum cleaner leaves the room, how does it look? Absolutely. Here's another question. Are you the person that goes into a dirty room, sucks up all the rubbish and is happy to do it? Not a victim. Oh, poor me. I cleaned up everybody else's rubbish and nobody noticed. I've been here at the gym for 7 hours and nobody appreciates me. Oh, suck it up. Everybody's got stuff going on in their life, not just you. And if you dump that on other people, you're not a vacuum cleaner. You're the person that's dumping the stuff that the vacuum cleaner's got to suck up. My clients used to say to me, how are you? And I used to tell them. First of all, they don't want to know. We already discovered that. They're not interested. And what right have I got as a fitness professional to dump my stuff on somebody else? I have no right. I challenge you to write on your piece of paper, I am the vacuum cleaner. In my life, I'm the vacuum cleaner. I go into every dirty room, every dirty situation, every dirty relationship. I suck up all the rubbish. Happily, because that's what... You don't hear a vacuum cleaner going, I don't feel like sucking today. What do vacuum cleaners do? They happily suck up, because that's who they are. They're vacuum cleaners. That's what they do. I'm a vacuum cleaner. I happily suck up the rubbish. Which, by the way, means that you need to look after you. And this is a commitment that I would now like you to write down on your piece of paper, because you're going to read it in 3 months' time. Nobody's body is more important than mine. Please write it down. Nobody's body is more important than mine. Nobody's body is more important than mine. And I know you've heard this analogy before, but I'm going to put it into a New Zealand analogy. You have some very fine football teams in New Zealand, yes? Just say yes. I believe you do. I thoroughly enjoyed the Rugby League World Cup. I believe that there's 2 kinds of people in the world, or two kinds of team players. You have great skill or great attitude. Now, ideally, you'd have both. But I believe that Australia got absolutely beaten by attitude. It was fantastic. Because on paper, Australia should have won, yes? But attitude will beat skill every single time. So I would like you to imagine that you are now the coach of one of those fine black football teams here. The black shirt, black hat, black, all blacks. There's all kind of blacks. I love it. You are the coach of one of those teams. And you now have to create the perfect exercise and eating plan for this elite group of people. Would you keep it up late, feed it Red Bulls, pour coffee down its throat, let it skip training sessions? Don't worry about fruit and veggies, just take a few pills, that'll be okay. Can eat whatever you want to, it doesn't matter. Would you be responsible as a coach if you did that to your football team? Just say no. You would be fired, because that would be irresponsible. Taking nothing away from the fine football teams in New Zealand, I do believe that what we do as fitness professionals is far more important than coaching a football team. We have to look after us so that we have the ability to look after other people. We cannot talk about the importance of drinking water, regular exercise, fresh fruit and vegetables and looking after ourselves if we don't do it ourselves. We just can't do that. That's called being a hypocrite. And there's a few other names that we wouldn't say in public. So you wrote it down. Nobody else's body is more important than mine. Please make a commitment today, if you haven't already, that you will never put somebody else's health and fitness in front of yours, because if you do, what ends up happening is you end up resenting them. Those of you coming to my session on sales, it's one of the reasons why some personal trainers lose clients. Because they book them at 6 o'clock in the morning, which is their personal training time, which is when they want to go for a run. They end up training people at 6 o'clock in the morning and end up resenting their client, or worse, exercising with their client, which takes away from the client session because you need to get some exercise. You need to look after you first. The relationship that I would love you to have with your fitness career, and I'm going to ask the question, who in this room right now is absolutely passionately in love? Quite a few people. Isn't that fantastic? Whether you are married or not, I'd like to give you the definition of the Western world of that relationship commitment. It goes like this: for better or worse. What kind of relationship person would you be if you said, I'll love you for better or better, but if there's ever a worse, we're not having a relationship anymore? I know that there's quite a few women in this room, because I can't think the way men do, but there's quite a few women in this room that would say, mate, it's over. He says, but for better or better, I'm happy to love you, but better or worse, no way. How about this? For richer or poorer? What kind of relationship would it be if your partner said, look, I'm really happy to have a relationship with you while you're wealthy, but should we lose our money, it's over. I only love you because you've got a few bucks in the bank. Good relationship? No. And how about this one? For as long as we both shall live. Maybe I'm going to love you for a little while, but if somebody better comes along, it's all over. See, that's called commitment. For better or worse, richer or poorer, for as long as we both shall live. The reason I'm standing here today is I'm looking for people in our industry to have that commitment to their career. For better or worse. Sometimes it's not going to be that good, is it? Sometimes you're going to hire the wrong people. Sometimes you're going to have lousy, stinking clients who rip you off. Sometimes it's going to rain and people will cancel. Does that mean you quit your relationship with this beautiful career that you have? Richer or poorer? There's going to be times in your fitness career that you will be broke. You know what some people do? They go back to their lousy, stinking, horrible job. They go back to being an accountant or a bricklayer or a store stacker at the supermarket because they couldn't make enough money from personal training. What I'm going to ask you to do is make a commitment to your career that says for richer or poorer. There will be poor times. But if you are in love with what you do and it's all happy, 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 you know what happens to a relationship that's happy, 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 happy all the time? It doesn't get any stronger. In fact, it gets a bit boring. It's when you both go through tough times that the relationship gets stronger. It's when you make it through those tough times, when you're going through tough times and you can look at each other and say, 6 months from now, we're going to be laughing about this. Until we die is the commitment. Because the reason I'm standing here today is I fell in love with fitness and this profession at 13. These people walked into my school dressed in funny lycra clothes and taught us how to dance to music. And I went to a school where it was a religious school and you couldn't listen to rock music and you couldn't dance. And I just fell in love with it. It was called aerobics then. I fell in love with it. And I've never done anything else my whole life. All I've ever done is this career. I have a vision to positively change the health and fitness of the world. Some people say to me, even in our industry, oh, who do you think you are? You think you can change the world? Yes, I do. Because if every person in this room changes one person's life every day, will we make a difference? For better or worse, richer or poorer, for as long as we both shall live. If you have a casual attitude towards this career, the people out there will take you casually, and you'll be a black mark on our industry. Please take what you do seriously. As I share with my Year 12s, in the last 2 weeks I've spoken to so many graduations of Year 12 students. I've figured out nearly 10,000 students I've spoken to. And I don't know how you were at school, but I sat in school feeling that if I wasn't a doctor or a lawyer, I wasn't important. Well, I now know that a medical professional gets the opportunity to treat and perhaps cure the biggest diseases in the world today. Guess what we do as fitness professionals? We treat it and we cure it, but guess what else? We prevent it. Coronary heart disease, we prevent it. Osteoporosis, we prevent it. Type 2 diabetes, we prevent it. Obesity, we prevent it. And the biggest killer of all today, I believe, is depression. Now, I don't care what's going on in your life and how bad it is. If you go for a run and you have a healthy eating plan, you drink some water and you use some positive vocabulary, what will happen to the way you feel about yourself, regardless of what's going on? And we do that for people. So may you be proud today to be a fitness professional. Please sign that piece of paper that says, I am proud to be a fitness professional. Please pop it inside your envelope. I'm going to send it back to you. I'm not going to read it, I'm just going to send it back to you. Just to remind you that being a fitness professional is so important. So let's have a little practice, regardless of whether you know the person next to you or not. For better or worse, please say it to each other. For better or worse. For richer, for poorer. For as long as we both shall live. I am a fitness professional. And for those of you in the room who will pronounce this much better than me, please forgive my pronunciation. Kia kaha, kia mana, kia toa. Have a wonderful weekend.